Hi, I'm Mikey Sklar of Holy Scrap Hot Springs. I live in southern New Mexico, and today I want to show you how I make a mesquite bread. Just a few words about mesquite. Mesquite is a pod. It grows all around our area here on trees. We harvest it in the summer. It has an amazing amount of calories. It's about 70 calories per tablespoon for mesquite. We usually grind it into flour and add it to our recipes, but we also use it in this sort of molasses mode as well, which you can just boil the pods down in water and get a molasses from. And this is a very simple recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the flour. This is 2 cups white flour, 1 cup whole wheat flour. And I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of mesquite flour to this, maybe a tablespoon or 2. And we just need a teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And finally, I have mixed together 2 tablespoons of mesquite molasses with a cup of water and our yeast. And finally, I'm going to just place this in our Cuisinart and let it mix the dough. And it's going to sit in there for 40 minutes. I'll do 1 punch down, another 40 minutes, and then it goes into our fermenter where it will sit for another 40 minutes, and finally into the oven. I've just done the final punch down of our bread in the Cuisinart. I'm going to remove it from here. Alright, it's nice and sticky. It's great. It's got plenty of moisture in it. And at this point we can go ahead and just put a little flour on the dough so it won't stick to everything around it. And I'm going to shape it a little like the bread pan I'm going to be using later on. Alright, great. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and move it over to the fermentation chamber. And I am standing in front of the fermentation chamber. So what this is an old wine fridge, that I've just ripped out the controls on when it died and put a light bulb in to make it warm. So any container will do. I've used a chest cooler for quite a while. I kind of like this old wine fridge though because it's got a clear door so you can see what's going on. And on the back side, you can see that I've mounted a temperature controller. Right now it's reading about 76 degrees, and a light bulb. And the temperature controller will turn on that light when the temperature gets below 75 degrees. So it'll keep our bread right at 75, which is the perfect temperature for rising a bread. So look inside here, there's the height of our bread right now. And when we come back in about 40 to 50 minutes, that bread should be quite a bit higher. Alright, it's been about 50 minutes in here, and our bread has risen quite a bit. And now it's time to transfer it over to the oven. And you'll see in my oven setup, I've been holding the temperature at 355, and I've preheated a pizza stone, and below that I have a tray with just a little bit of water in it for humidity, and on top of the pizza stone I have a cast iron pan that I use for baking the bread in, and I'm going to go ahead and place the bread in the pan. So just add a little flour so our bread doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. And I'm going to try to do this flip as gently as possible. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't want to lose too much of my rise. And now the bread can go right into the oven, and it's going to be in there for 50 minutes. we'll come back and check on this guy in 15 minutes. Alright, our bread is just finished up its rising, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it out and let it cool down. Flip this guy over. And voila, delicious mesquite bread.